You see, this video is about making a tier list, more specifically a tier list on the Mega Pokémon. You see, depending on when this has come out, I presume I would have already recorded this, at least I hope so, otherwise I'm kind of spoiling that video. But yes, I've already ranked every single Gmax, and I am kind of gonna be ranking every single one of these Megas in comparison to these guys. Being completely honest, I'm super biased when it comes to Pokemon, I really am. There is almost nothing I really dislike about the franchise, but obviously enough, I do like certain things more than others. The only thing that's going to be kind of unfortunate is probably every single one of these guys. I'm not sure, I don't think there's gonna be a single Mega that they placed okay or decent or even good. Oh, actually there is one. Maybe there is one in particular, considering I actually don't know which one is which, Latios and Latias. I know, this is the most common one, everyone complains about it, but come on, they could have at least kept the covers different. I feel like I personally would have been perfectly fine if they just changed the covers. And the thing is, if Appleton and Flapple's Gmax being also identical didn't exist, probably I would have liked them more. No, actually, simple truth is, I did like them more before them kind of repeating the same thing with Flapple and Appleton in the Gmax. So sadly I kinda have to place the Lati twins at GOAT. Even though I really like their designs, the unfortunate fact that they're just copies of each other and even the covers are not different, kinda have to place them here. Definitely at the very top because Mega Evolution is just incredible. I really do want to place them higher, but it's one of those things where I'm trying to kind of judge the design of the Mega itself, not just the Pokemon. Because frankly, the tier list overall probably would look slightly different if I was judging even my opinions on the Pokemon itself. But anyway, let's just continue. Now, there is technically two more that are gonna be in a unique spot, that being Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. You see, these two are just not Mega Evolutions, they're Primal Reversions, which it is different. It just is. Now Rayquaza is just straight up Mega Evolution, so he will be ranked. But these two, I guess I can rank them as their own individual thing. Go on ahead and be great. The design changes are simple, but I do think they really work. So I can't place them anywhere underneath. But I also can place them much higher. They also did get new signature moves, but no, I'm not going that deeply in my ranking for this one. Venusaur, you are gonna be above. Yeah, if you watched my Gmax video, I did say it, unfortunately, that I do think that Gmax Venusaur does what Mega Venusaur does slightly better, and he does have the cool glowing eyes, so yeah, sadly. I can't believe I'm placing a Gmax over Mega, but Mega Kangaskhan is going to be... Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess Mega Kangaskhan, yeah, realistically, even though I really do like the concept, I actually can't place... I definitely want to place for the Lati twins, but there's also a very cool fight with Mega Kangaskhan in the anime, but it wasn't the Mega that shined that well in it. Just like with every single one of these, I would love if I could get more anime fights with them, but anyway, bonus now, I guess it's you. And you're going to the very top of grade. Probably, shockingly enough, I wouldn't say you're exactly perfect. I would love if the actual eyes he was shooting from the back of his second hands, sure. I would kind of prefer if they were more expressed, maybe if the eyes was glowing or there was some energy just swirling around it. Here we have actual silly form of Swabro. Swalking also deserves a Mega, but you are now going to be the new King of Grade because once again, he's actually kind of perfect, isn't he? As a joke, he really is a perfect joke. I like it. And there was a very cool teaser, it was so long ago, where they were showing off the Hoenn Mega Evolutions. I don't think it was for the trailer of Omega Ruby around Sapphire or just the review of it. Just amazing animation. I really have loved Swabro in it. He was fighting Mega Sharpedo. He was, but sure, you're just gonna be great. Bust, very cool. I really would appreciate. I would have appreciated if there was another small design addition. Maybe like adding an anchor behind it, behind Sharpedo's tail. Who knows? But anyway, Mega Garchomp, you most definitely, even though I know many people dislike him, Even though I know that you're not really as like simply because technically stat-wise somehow some way normal Garchomp is better, which is insane. But I guess that's what happens when you give Mega Evolutions to already very powerful Pokemon. I think Garchomp is the only one whose Mega is actually worse than the original. That is impressive. Now, supposedly when it was Pokemon X and Y, they said Lucario was the original Mega. And I do like Lucario, and it's a pretty cool form, also in the Pokemon XY and Z anime, and also XY. Lucario had a pretty cool arc, so yeah, my anime experience with it does make him cooler than Garchomp. This tier list is gonna be so top heavy, it's ridiculous. Who else maybe can go over? I guess Mega Lopunny. Straightforward design change, making it into a normal fighting type. I do appreciate when new types are being added, and it's done in a way where, once again, it's super simple and clear how it becomes from normal to normal fighting. Maybe slightly less than Garchomp. Yeah, the Scythe arms are kinda cool. Mewtwo X. I actually like Mewtwo X more than most people, and that's going to be proven in what I place him. I really feel like Mewtwo X gets too much hate. I don't really understand it. Maybe because it becomes a fighting type, but I really like that. Maybe also the fact that Mewtwo Y actually does get a whole movie about it, and it does reference the Mew origin it has. So I actually really love the contrast between one Mega evolving more of the Mewtwo aspects of it, which is the human part, and the other one the Mew part. It is one of those things that whenever you see a Pokemon in actual action in a movie or the anime, you can get so much more appreciation for the design, the abilities, and even the characters. So yeah, sadly it is what it is. First we have Mega Alakazam. More spoons, which is a joke, just like Sobra. It doesn't go all the way to being perfect, it is close. It is very close. Next we have Mega Aerodactyl. And something I really do enjoy, because there is the theory of the fossils actually having the rock type solely because of the process in which they're being recreated. In the Pokédex entry for Mega Aerodactyl it says that this is probably what it looked like, so Aerodactyl might be one of the few that is actually an actual rock type. Aerodactyl, you shall be number 3. I actually do not like Mega Teeter. Another thing I don't really like about him is the fact that I don't, because obviously you know Gen 9 and the Paradox Pokemon and some specific ones referencing Mega Evolution, I don't like the fact that Iron Forms doesn't really reference Mega Teeter, but it could be one of those things where he doesn't reference him because maybe the past form would reference him more, not sure. Sure, shockingly enough, I'll place him at the very bottom of great, because next I'm gonna go with a fan favorite and probably very much so annoy certain people by placing him. I do like him more than Teeter and these guys, and the Shifu forms. I'll definitely appreciate these two more. Aerodactyl. At this point I'm actually even comparing my preference of the Pokemon themselves, not just the Mega design, because I really love almost every single Mega, so it's just difficult for me to be judging them specifically on the Mega itself without adding anything of the design of the Pokemon that is Mega evolving. 4th place is fair for you. Okay, I need to really think though, because we have Perfect, Transcendent and Divine. Frankly, the real question is there any one of these guys that I actually like less than these 3, my favorite Gmax form? I guess Mega Pidgeot is just too simplistic in order to be above these 3. Even though I really do love it, it is just perfect. I just do have a preference for more energy or just wacky designs, so sure, you will be at the bottom of Perfect Pidgeot. I guess Mega Glalie is also gonna be at the very bottom, but I do like him more than Pidgeot, so sure. Second to last of Perfect. Once again, a little too simplistic to be even higher. I kinda do enjoy over-designed Pokemon, I do. It could be the thing that I'm also a Digimon fan, I'm a much bigger Pokemon fan, but I do appreciate some Digimon. So over-designing a Pokemon really doesn't bother me, not even remotely. Anyone else I dislike more than the Gmax? I guess Agron, maybe? I just think there is something truly cool about these 3. Mostly the fact that they would be much better if they were Mega Evolutions. Like this being Mega Blastoise X, and the other one being Y. Who would be next? I know that this is once again a pretty simple design, where it just adds another head. However, with the fact that Mawa got a giant buff with it becoming a fairy type, I guess just a simple addition of a second head does make it, and it's just the fact that it's so good. Yeah, it could be one of those things where just it being so powerful really makes me appreciate it that much more, and yeah, that really changed things for it. Let's go on ahead and place Sableye at the top of perfect currently. Once again, very simple thing, just giving Sableye a giant gem, kind of extending its ears, and I think changing the eye cover, because originally just diamond, now it's ruby. That I'm gonna repeat myself in saying that it might be cooler if it had glowing eyes. You know, I should probably stop saying that, because I would say to 99% of these, just give them glowing eyes and they would be cooler. Except maybe the silly ones like Swallow. What next? Next I'm gonna go with Mega Gyarados, because I just think he's pretty cool. But if there is one thing I can add to make him even better is, I would probably prefer if he was even bigger, just like Sandy Scorch. He just extends his size much more. Obviously enough, quite perfect in my eyes. Although, fun fact, I don't know whether you know that, but there was an episode in, I think it was the very original series, probably, where Misty has a dream and she actually sees the fin of Mega Gyarados, which I absolutely love. Obviously, then later in Pokemon Journeys, Misty actually gets a Mega Gyarados, so it's a adorable thing. I know that it wasn't planned so many years ago, but it's a very cool coincidence. Salamence. And I will be completely honest, it's simply because they kinda tied his Mega to his Paradox form. And I just love whenever Pokemon connects things like that, just more world building. I have no idea what it means that the Paradox Salamence and Mega Salamence are connected. Maybe there is the theory that certain Mega Evolutions draw from the future potential of the DNA, other from the past. There is such theory, which I think is cool. Not sure whether I commit to it, but it is very interesting. Yeah, he kinda has to be at least there. Blaziken is going to be just above Toxtricity. And just the Flaming Hands, cool. Once again, if there is one thing I would appreciate more of, more energy, more fire, just more. Probably Mega Cameron, probably not as much as Salamence, but once again, that's mostly, I guess, a lore thing rather than just the design and the Pokemon itself. So sure, you shall be here.
Eventually,
Mega Odino is transcendent, and yes, I know, very shocking. However, I adore, as I said, giving Pokemon that really no one cares about, no one knows nothing about, a form. And I just think that Odino's covers and it becoming a fairy type improves it so immensely. I can't express how much more I like Mega Odino in comparison to the normal Odino. It genuinely makes me appreciate it so much more. If I was just ranking to how much of an improvement a Mega Evolution is to the original design, I would say Mega Odino is probably, if not the best, the second best. I mean, this is how I would like almost every Mega Evolution to be. It changes the design a lot, the cover scheme and the type. So there is literally nothing negative I can say about Mega Odino. I don't think that there is much that can be done for me to like it even more. Just gonna have to leave it there. Mega Heracross. It is interesting that Heracross Mega just changes the type of Beetle Heracross is, but I'm kind of okay with it. Also, it's one of those things where I'm kinda hoping, because hopefully Pokemon's gonna go for a very long amount of time, and they will revisit Mega Evolution again, hopefully, eventually. We can get more of the X and Y versions. I was gonna say stop making new gimmicks, but no, I kind of also can appreciate them, even though, for example, I genuinely really dislike the stylization. I do enjoy some of the lore aspects in it. But yeah, just more Mega. Just keep Megas as a constant part of Pokemon. Let's continue. Mega Banette. Also absolute perfection, improves Banette in every single way, making him more creepy and cool. Continuing with Gengar, I shall place him at definitely above these two. Yeah, above Glalie. Obviously the competition is very fierce for me. As I said, I really love basically every Mega Evolution, so here we have Mega Blastoise, which I'm just gonna place. Here's the thing I did say about G-Max Blastoise. This is one of those things where I actually would love if this guy was Mega Blastoise X, or Y, regardless, doesn't matter, and this one was the other version, because it just works so well. But yeah, talking about the variants, these two, I'm gonna place X at 4th place because both names are cool, the overall color scheme is cool, I just really like him. Yeah, no, there is nothing deeper than that, I just really adore him. And Mega Charizard Y is also gonna go. I would love to place him above X. The covers and the flames of X just slightly push him above Y, at least in my eyes. Houndoom, you are a good boy who's going to go above Sableye and Cardos. Would probably be much higher if once again it had some more energy around, more specifically fire. Maybe come out with, oh yeah, fire coming out of the horns. I think Gardevoir is going to be probably just under Blastoise. I just love the route swine a lot. Even though Gardevoir is kind of my least favorite, I still really do like it, so I kind of have placed here. I guess because I have already expressed the thing of me wanting to see more of the energy of the type that they're representing, I can't place Mega Sceptile at Divine. I have to place him at Transcendent. I do love Dragon types, not my favorite typing, but it is very cool and I do think it works very well with Sceptile. Next to Transcendent we shall have Mega Swampert, and obviously there is a very cool mechanic of the, it's not gills, but the little orange spots on its arms actually propelling even more water to increase the speed and power of the punch. It's just a cool design. I guess sure, Mega Metrox cannot be a Transcendent. I really do like him. And it's one of those things that I do wonder whether it's because I know that so many people do like him, I kind of want to hate him a little bit. Well, hate him, I'm still playing him at absolute perfection, but sure, more than the Zards, you shall be more than X and Y. So, next is Upso. Excluding the detail that I want more energy being represented in the Pokemon, I just really like Upso. It is definitely a design that's probably one of the most simple and small changes, just adding those wings, but the fact that it doesn't gain any typing whenever it Mega Evolves does bother me, which is why I can place him in Divine. If Upso was either Flying or Fairy, he probably would be in Divine. Even though it's such a small change, I've always loved Upso, so I'm very biased towards it. However, sadly, there's just something slightly missing, as I said, just one small change. I adore Mega Pinsir, getting a new type, and yes, there is so many more additions, there's so many more spikes. Now the wings have opened and it's flying Beetle, eyes are different. I really can't find any fault with Mega Pinsir. I absolutely adore it. Frankly, before Mega Pinsir I actually wasn't that much of a fan of original Pinsir. And yeah, shockingly enough, Mega Audino is still being at the very top because the ginormous improvement. So surprised I'm about to have 3 fairy types so high on the list. Right underneath Audino. And to be completely honest, the reason why the Yancy is so high is in the same promotion of the new game, in the same promotion of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, or the Trevor, whatever it was, it showed Mega Yancy generating a diamond sword, which was so amazing. I absolutely love that. It's an aspect that it really hasn't been shown much, and actually I can't remember, I don't think I've watched the last movie of X and Y. In any case, I would love to see more of its ability to generate weapons, more specifically a sword, because swords are just cool. Mega Otori, who gets the fairy type, probably second place. I really am so surprised by this. After you see my favorites, I feel like these two are gonna feel so weird. These 4 and these 2 feel like nothing alike. Actually, maybe even these 3. Although then again, Mega Diancie with the sword. I just think it works. It's a dragon type that I think it deserved something, and I really wasn't expecting it to be that, but it just works for me in every single way. Mega Steelix, who's going to be above the Yancy as my 3rd and last Transcendent tier. It's not exactly energy, but it's rock, diamond, crystals, and that's the thing I feel like needs to be represented in more Mega Evolutions, where their specific typing is represented by bursting out of their body, swirling around it in some sort of way or fashion. It just makes it so much cooler in my eyes, and Mega Steelix is a great representation of that. Now, here we're up to the Divine tier, with the best, yeah, probably the best legendary Pokemon, Mega Rayquaza. And the first Mega Evolution. I just really enjoy whenever the 3rd legendary gets so much more additional lore to it. I know it didn't work out for many people, but for me, Mega Rayquaza, considering I always liked the original, it really adds quite a bit. Let's not talk about even the shiny. I can literally speak for 30 more minutes just about how much I love Mega Rayquaza. I need to continue with the 2nd best, Mega Galate. I just really enjoy capes. I know they're not practical. And Glade is also one of my favorite Pokemon of all times. It is kinda unfair combination. Combining Mega Evolution, which is in my eyes, it's one of the best decisions the Pokemon Company has ever made. Plus one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, which is kinda the same thing with Rayquaza being my favorite legendary. There was just no other option. And talking about favorites, yep, I've always liked Beedrill. Definitely has been in top 20. Even with now there being 1200 and something Pokemon. I've always loved Beedrill, but the spikes look like lances, the wings are slightly different, just even the face being slightly changed. Every single aspect makes a great improvement by making Beedrill look much more intimidating. I do adore that the stat distribution of Beedrill is literally remove every single stat, just give everything to attack. Because the stats of Beedrill was so bad that just adding 100 to his attack doesn't do enough. Even though I would love for Beedrill to be much better when it comes to design, him being one of my favorite Pokemons. And just, once again, that specific... You know what, I kinda wanna find it just to show you what I'm talking about. This is one of my favorite trailers. Oh, there it is. The best. One of the best Pokemon ever created. I think I'm mega camera-upped. Yep. Tapping wise, not a good situation, but still, so cool. Whenever I talk about something I really love, I lose my ability to actually commentate even remotely objectively, or even try to express why something works so well, because my monkey brain activates and I just want to say this is cool, this is awesome, and that's that, and just repeat it 1000 times. But yeah, I really adore Pokemon.
12 seconds later.
Feel free to tell me where you agree, where you disagree, but for now, there's a video there, you can subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.